was a surprise bestseller of 2006. A life-enhancing antidote to the bland life stories of a gaggle of young Premier League superstars. What?
Yes.
Did anyone actually... Who wrote that? Did you pay them to write that?
No.
Shortlisted for the Tesco Sports Book of the Year, ladies and gentlemen.
Hang on. Come off it.
Free tin of sardines with every copy.
Hang on. Tesco was the biggest shopping chain in the world when that was written. It's not my fault that they've gone down the bloody gurgler. Huh?
Now, did you actually write this, or did you pay somebody else from the... what was it? The Desecration Society to write it for you?
I advised the copywriter. I advised.
What, so somebody else actually wrote it?
Yes.
So Alan Brazil had almost nothing to do with it?
What are you talking about? The book or the tribute on the back?
I'm talking about the book, you
the book,
idiot.
Okay. I thought you were going to read more of the tribute on the back.
I don't want to read more of the tribute on the back. I want to read from the inside of it, because the inside of it is far more interesting.
Look, when you write a book, when you're a ghostwriter on a book, and he's never done one, he wouldn't know, what you do is you literally set down in type and print what the subject of the book, and in this case it's our great old mate Alan Brazil, tells you. So everything in that book is Alan Brazil, not me.
Yeah, but you've never worked like that in your life.
What do you mean?
You've always made up the story before you got to talk to anybody.
That's
then you
completely
interviewed
untrue.
them and hoped that they would say the things that you were going to quote them as saying. Then you
complete-
ran the story anyway.
No, it's completely untrue.
You made all this up. For example, this is meant to be in Alan Brazil's words, right?
Yes.
And are you going to swear to me that Alan Brazil said everything in this book as it's been written down?
Alan sat opposite me and he said these very words.
He said these words. It was the most beautiful evening you could imagine in the resort of Marybelle. The sky was inky black. The snow was as white as a tin of Dulux paint.
It's true.
I mean, only Porky could get the word tin into the first paragraph.
It's true.
Brazil never said that.
What was I supposed to say?
Could you not think of something better?
Was I supposed to say, Al, don't say
the
that?
snow was as white as a tin of Dulux paint?
But he said it. He said it.
No, he didn't. You made that up. That's one of yours, isn't it?
No.
Shall we go further into the book?
I mean, look, sometimes as a ghostwriter, you have to anticipate what he's trying to say. You've got to remember that writing Al...
Writing?
Yeah, right.
Writing?
Yeah. Writing Alan Brazil's...
How the fuck did you ever become a journalist anyway? You should have stuck to stealing diesel.
Writing Alan Brazil's life story was very, very difficult, because when you sit down with Al and say, right, Al, let's start at the beginning, you know, when you're an apprentice at Celtic Boys Club when you're 16, and come on, Al, that's, getting on 35 years ago now. Tell me all about it. And it became very clear within 5 minutes that because Al's been pissed for the last 35 years, he couldn't remember one day to the next.
Do you think he's going to be happy when he sees this on the DVD?
He couldn't, I mean,
Do you think he's going to be happy when he sees this on a DVD?
What?
That'll be the end of you on the fucking breakfast show doing a paper review.
Yeah. I think you'll find that Al found me as a soulmate, you know, to recorrect some of the blips in his life.
Is that right? Well, how about this one when he nearly
yes?
died? Now, did he say this to you? I was sure that death was imminent.
I was sure that death was imminent. Yeah, I remember that. That was terrible.
Well, it must have been if death was imminent. My only consolation was that I was going to breathe my last on Newmarket Heath.
Yeah, on Newmarket Heath.
This is you trying to make something out of nothing, right?
No.
Was that the race course?
No, he was on the back.
He thought maybe if I drink one more of these Bloody Marys, I might die before midday.
No,
Is that it?
He was on the back of a wild horse. No joke.
A wild horse?
A wild horse, yeah.
So what, somebody came up to him and went, hey, Alan, I've got a wild horse here. Do you want to jump on the back of it?
No.
This is how he expands every story.
No.
Adjectives which are not actually the right ones.
He got on a horse which he thought was a normal horse, but it turned out to be mad. It's a mad horse. And
mad horse?
It ran off with him on the back of it.
Did it have a saddle on it?
What?
Did it have a saddle?
Yeah, it had
a saddle.
Had a saddle. But he thought it was a normal horse. So, you know, when you get on a horse, it's kind of, you know...
When was the last time you were on a horse?
Clip, clop. What?
When was the last time you were on a horse? I don't mean in a betting shop either.
What?
When was the last time you were on a horse? You just said you know what it's like when you're
I'm
on the back of a horse.
I'm not a rider. I've never claimed to be a rider.
So you've never been on the back of a horse?
What?
You've never been on the back of a horse?
No. Why would I want to get on a horse?
That would have helped you describe...
Why would I get on a horse?
Well, that would have helped you describe what happened to him then.
What?
Enough to be a jockey?
It's a bit harsh. No, I've never
Bit
felt...
too heavy, though.
I've never, ever felt the need to get on the back of a horse. For
Really?
what reason am I going on the back of a horse for? I like horses when I see them in the Cowboys and Indians films, but apart from that, forget it, okay?
Native Americans. I think
They're not. You can't call them Cowboys and Indians anymore. Right,
So
okay, so have you finished with the book?
Well, I think we are finished with the book because,
Yeah.
I mean, heaven forbid that anybody should think that anything in here is even true because
Well,
Alan Brazil can't remember, as you said, what he did in his life.
You didn't...
You made it all up.
No, I didn't. The tribute on the back, by the way, about the first book said Alan and his co-writer, which he didn't want to read out, Mike Porky Parry, have added fresh stories of japes. Japes.
What, so you made up a few more for the paperback edition?
No.
To see if you can sell a few
No.
more copies?
Pranks, japes, pranks, and mishaps. And they can be relied upon to keep the bottles of bubbly slipping down a treat. But as I don't drink champagne, I came with that title, by the way. An awful lot of bubbly in Brazil. Do you think that's brilliant? And do you know what? To this day, only yesterday, Peter G, our great mate in creative, and he's used that now. They use that now in a radio advert. You know, there's an awful lot of bubbly in Brazil.
A radio advert?
A radio advert.
Can you talk us through that? What's a radio
no.
advert then?
Now,
What is a radio? What do you mean a radio advert?
It's an advert on the radio.
Do you mean it's a
You know what
trail
I mean?
for
You
the
know
Alan
what I mean?
Brazil Sports Breakfast?
You know what I'm talking about?
Is that what you mean? Let's
Uh,
talk about the other book you wrote.
Which one?
The one about Wayne Rooney.
Bestseller.
The one that was not
Bestseller.
about Wayne Rooney.
Bestseller. It was called Rooney Tunes. It was before the 2010 World Cup.
And there it
what's
is,
this?
ladies and gentlemen.
What?
You can buy 100
What?
copies for £1. That's how great that book is.
That's a bit harsh, isn't it? Isn't that a bit harsh?
And you didn't actually talk to Wayne Rooney before you wrote the book, did you?
Well, no, he's busy.
So you haven't actually interviewed Wayne Rooney for the book.
Well, it wasn't an official autobiography
So
or
it was
anything like
really
that.
about you, this book, wasn't it?
No. Why would it be about me?
Because it starts with a passage all about how Rooney saved your life.
Well, he did actually, yeah.
Without
he did.
realising it.
He did. I was in hospital, right, and close to death. 36 hours.
Not
said the
fucking
doctors.
close enough, unfortunately.
That's very nice. See what I have to put up with here. The doctor said to me, you know, it's going to be, it's not give and take. What's the expression?
Give
touch
and
and
take.
go. That's right, touch and go. It's going to be touch and go and all that kind of stuff. And all of a sudden...
And all that kind of stuff.
What?
Did the doctor say that to you?
What?
It's going to be touch and go and all that kind of stuff.
No, I could read their eyes. These doctors were sitting around my bed, okay? And I had one
This
of
is
those...
another story about men in white coats, by the way.
Yes, it is. I
I'm
had
sure
one...
you weren't being sort of held under
No.
sedation.
I had one of the most dreadful conditions. It was called acute heart failure, right? I mean, as a consequence, only 1/3 of my heart works now. But
Nobody really believes that story, no.
No. But what happened was, I was nearly dead, and then a bike rolls up the driveway of Harefield Hospital. A messenger comes in, brings a package in, delivery for Mr. Parry. It was a T-shirt signed by Wayne Rooney. Mike, get better soon, Wayne Rooney. From that day on, from that moment on, I got better. It was a miracle. I was saved by a miracle intervention from Wayne Rooney.
Because you thought it was sent by Wayne Rooney, didn't you?
Of course it was.
Because you're a complete and utterly deluded wanker.
No.
He did not send it to you.
That's very harsh.
Did he? Did Wayne Rooney send it to you?
Of course he did.
No, he didn't.
Of course he did.
Somebody at the FA sent it to you.
No.
The FA who you used to work for.
No.
We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah. My name's Graham Kelly. Michael, what's going on? No, I want to talk to you about several things about your lifestyle.
Because we haven't got a great deal of time, you know.
What do you mean?
Because, you know, we've already been going for like 45 minutes.
Well, I've got plenty of energy. You haven't, pal, because you stuff your face full of kebabs all the time, and that's not good for you. Isn't he a fat twat? Come on, I need some support here, right? He has a go at me, but what I do is I'm smarter than the average bear.
I'll tell you what we're going to do.
I wear a loose shirt. Wear the loose shirt, see what I mean?
What size is that shirt, by the way?
What?
What size is it?
It's...
Is it one of those XXXXXL?
No, not
shirts?
at all. Not at all.
Well, what size is it?
Well, that's irrelevant.
Well, why won't you answer the question?
I don't know what size it is.
You don't know what
I don't
size
know
it is?
what size it is, no.
So you just guess when you buy a shirt?
No.
I don't know why you've left it outside your trousers.
I don't actually buy my own shirts, you know. I have a buyer, if you see what I mean. You know. So it's not a problem. Now,
I think you should change the buyer. No, what I want you to look at now,
Yes?
right, is a video which actually puts you in another interesting light. People can judge for themselves.
Yes.
something that you do from time to time. He comes in occasionally of a night at TalkSport and says, "Do you know what?
Yeah.
I want to challenge you to something." What you do know is that he spent about 15 days practicing on something, and this is what he did.
I didn't practice at all. Now, I'm telling you, I can clear that table in one pull.
Yeah, but why are you going to do it?
I'm going to do it because it's all about Gordon Bennett.
Gordon Bennett, right?
I told you about Gordon Bennett. New York newspaper publisher, used to finance fantastic expeditions to the Arctic and the Antarctic, right? Yeah. But his favourite trick, when he used to take people out to dinner in New York, top restaurants, he would literally pull the cloth from underneath the table, from on top of the table, from underneath all the cutlery and all the glasses and all the spoons, and not break a single bowl.
All right. Well, what we've got here, we've got some bowls, we've got some plates, we've got some goblets. So let's see you having a go.
I'm going to do it.
Let's go. Do it. Okay, after 5.
After
1,
5, okay.
2, 3, 4, 5. That's after a couple of weeks of practice, right?
Never practiced it, I promise you.
Wasn't bad. I think that's a pretty good effort on my behalf. Now, put your money where your mouth is. You have a go. On the count of 3. 3, 2, 1.
That's on the count of 1.
Oh, okay. Right. 2, 3.
Which is pretty much what anyone would do.
What a jerk!
Thank you.
Which is pretty much what anybody would do if they hadn't practiced it. You've been practicing that for like 2 weeks.
No, I didn't practice at all.
You can always tell when he's got this look in his eye, you know, he has this kind of,
I didn't practice at all.
Surreptitious look.
I was very taken by
Because you've got loads of time to practice stuff like that, haven't you?
No.
You can be in your, private apartment, your so-called penthouse,
No.
pulling the tablecloth, breaking all those
I don't have any
pots
time.
And cutlery.
I don't have any time.
And all the kind of plates.
Can you see the envy and the malice that seeps out of this man? You know, because I've got a penthouse, it's got a roof garden.
It's not a penthouse.
And a gardener
It's
looks
not a
after my
penthouse.
roof garden. This man is so full of malice,
He's the only
envy.
gardener that doesn't have any grass to cut, isn't he?
What?
He has no grass to cut.
Well, you don't cut grass, do you, in a penthouse when it's covered in Italian slate?
How'd you get it from the same Italian shop?
Well, it doesn't come from the same Italian shop. It comes from Italy, That's where Italian slate comes from. And I'm telling you, man, you are so envious of my lifestyle.
I am envious
You
of
can't
you.
get... You see?
I would love to be. I would love to be you. Yeah.
You can't get
I'd
your
love
head
to spend
together.
hours and hours on my own, wandering about on Epsom Downs, being shunned by people whenever they see you, going, "Oh, there's that Wally Parry again."
What's he talking about?
He's talking to himself.
What's he talking
or he's
about?
on the phone, or he's listening to himself on the radio.
I walk 20 or 30 miles a week to keep my ticker.
Well, why don't you start walking in one direction and keep going?
Only 1/3 of my heart works. Only 1/3 of my heart works. And to keep it in
Nobody
shape,
believes that bollocks
I actually
anymore.
exercise.
Nobody actually believes that bollocks anymore because you walk to the pub and then eat fish and chips. How many pubs you been to today?
2.
2 pubs.
2.
This is the 3rd, right?
3.
3.
Yeah. Okay.
And what did you do in the first pub?
I had fish and chips, actually.
Fish and chips?
yeah, funny enough, yeah. That was at lunchtime, But that's okay. That's what I do. Now, I'm getting a bit bored with you having a go at me. I want to know things about you.
I know you want to know things,
to
but unfortunately
share
it's a bit fucking late for you to start learning
to
now.
share with the audience.
I
want to know why your whole life has consisted of abandoning everything you've ever done.
Well, I haven't abandoned you yet, have I? Despite an awfully
Well, you can't
large...
abandon me.
Why can't I?
I'm your lifeline.
You're my lifeline.
I'm your lifeline. I'm your lifeboat.
Dear
I'm
God.
your lifeboat.
Isn't that awful?
Why did you start a family in the United States of America and then decide to abandon them and send them back there when you got to this country?
It seemed like a good idea at the time.
Seemed like a good idea at the time. Did you give in to the persuasions of the flesh? Did you?
Is this getting you hot or something?
No. I just want to know what your motivation in life is.
Why do you have such an interesting sort of,
I mean, it's one doxy after another, basically. Okay? One doxy after another, and when one doxy's been put into the revolving door to go out, another doxy comes in, then has to make new plans for another life. And what are you left with? Nothing.
You, apparently.
Nothing.
Why don't you tell us about the way that you've conducted your life instead? And how you've always shagged married women so that they were never going to be close enough to you to force any kind of intimacy. Why don't you tell us, in fact, what the lovely romantic Valentine's message was that you put in the Times newspaper to a former secretary that you used to shag? Do you remember what it was?
No.
Yes, you do.
No.
Tell us.
Well, actually, she wasn't my secretary. She was my editor's secretary. Very nice lady.
He thought politically that would be a good move because he'd find out all sorts of things. Unfortunately, the only thing he found out was that the editor was planning to fire him.
And actually, he did, which was a bit harsh. And actually, when he fired me, it was I was so shocked that I went into his office and he said, "Oh," and he was a very weak man. His name's well, I won't say his name.
Don't give his name.
Hey?
Don't say his name.
Yeah. A very weak man. He came in, and I could see him shuffling his feet like this, you know, and he wouldn't look me in the eyes. And I said, "Are you right, Nick?" "Oh, sorry." Yeah. And he said, "Oh, Michael," he said, "look," he said, "I've got a great opportunity for you." He said, "I'd like you to become the US editor of the Daily Express." And I said...
He thought that was like a promotion, didn't you?
Yeah, he did, yeah. And I said...
No, you did.
No, he did. I didn't. I'd already...
Yeah, of course you did. You bought it. You were like, "Oh, US editor."
No, I didn't.
I'm going to hang out with Bill Clinton.
No. Well, I did, in fact, end up hanging out with Bill Clinton, but that's another story. Point is, I'd already done America in the mid-'80s and met this...
America.
Met this fat twat, you know.
He'd already done America.
By the way, when I met him, he had nothing. He had nothing. Nothing till I met him and made him
Nothing but
somebody.
my genius.
You had nothing. So Nick said...
Who?
Sorry, yeah. Don't mention his name.
Don't say his name.
Don't mention his name. So he said, "I want you." I said, "Oh, I can't do that, Nick." I said, "I'm the news editor of the Daily Express. It's a very important job."
And he went, "Not anymore, you're not."
So I turned around to walk out of his office. He said, "Oh, no. Actually, I want to make some changes." I said, "Make some changes." I said, "What sort of changes?" He said, "Well, you know." And I made it very hard for him. In the end, he was crying, you know, and he.
You made it very hard for him.
Yeah.
He fired you.
Yeah, but I asked for £100,000.
Yeah, well, you could have asked for that. You didn't get it.
I did. I got 70. Honestly, it wasn't bad. Anyway.
You got 70. You got 70,000.
No, but the point of the story is.
What is the point of the story?
I didn't do what some of my colleagues did when he tried to find somebody else who was the night editor on the back bench. I don't want to mention his name, but his initials are TM.
Is he still alive?
Terry Manners.
Don't say his name.
What?
Don't say his name.
Yeah. I think. Anyway. When the editor fires him, Terry had this fantastic fight back. He dropped on his knees, literally, wrapped his arms around and said, No! My wife's expecting another baby. Terry was about like 84 or something. You know what? No, he saved his job. They were more grovelling than I was. I've never grovelled to anyone in my life, okay? I'm not a groveller.
You're not a groveller,
You're a groveller.
But you haven't got any friends, really, have you?
I've got loads of friends.
When was the last time you had a dinner party?
A dinner party?
Look at his face.
Why would you want a dinner party?
Why would you want a dinner party?
Yeah, why would you want a dinner party?
Well, because it's a social occasion.
No, you
catch up with people
see,
you
he
haven't seen
turns out
for a
on me and says, when the last time you had a party, I'll turn on him and say, do you have to have dinner parties just to check out that you're still popular with people?
No.
I don't need people. Do you know why? I'm a leader, not a follower. Hey. Him, follower. You know what he follows? Camels. Do you know why he follows camels? Because camels take him to water. Do you know what water is for him?
About those rampaging camels.
Rogerization, bladderization, cigaretteization. That's you. Do you know what? I'm surprised that he hasn't come off the stage yet and gone... In our dressing room there, do you know what he did? He opened the window and smoked a cigarette out of the window. Totally...
Shocking.
Totally against the rules
Absolutely
of this building.
Shocking.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to get away from you because he was swigging out of a bottle of white wine because he didn't have a glass.
What?
That's what you do, isn't it, when you get home and you're too pissed to find a glass in the cupboard. You just open a bottle and stick it straight down your throat.
No.
When was the last time you spent a day without alcohol? Look at his face.
Let me see. What's that?
You might as well ask him, to make a percentage out of 45 out of 100. Look at him.
What's that machine called? The TARDIS? Could have been when I got in the TARDIS. Yeah, right.
The TARDIS.
Now,
you feeling all right?
What is this?
Well, this is your famous cinnamon challenge, right? The best video I think that anybody has ever made of you. I don't actually know who made the video. Do you ever pay them for all the hits that it gets on YouTube?
This is
that
not
a question dodged?
Excuse me. This is not something I celebrate. This is an example, a huge example of the difference between him and me. Right? I have strength.
You're an idiot.
Excuse me.
And I'm not.
Excuse me. I have strength. I have purpose. I have position. And I have will. Him, right? could not do this.
No, I
I
wouldn't do
can.
it. I wouldn't do it.
Because you couldn't do it.
It's too dangerous. Well, you can't do it either.
I can.
Go on, let's have a look then.
Yeah.
Okay, everybody, now you see what this is? This is a bottle of cinnamon. Cinnamon is some sort of a powder that you
That's
put
in
into
a jar, isn't
cakes
it?
and it makes them taste nice, that's fine. This is a tablespoonful of cinnamon. Now, somebody's tried to tell me that putting a full spoonful, and this is not a full spoonful, it's a tablespoonful of cinnamon in your mouth at once is impossible. And I've seen all these younger people than me who's shoving this stuff in their mouth and then they're all over the place because they can't take it. Well, believe me, I've faced worse than tablespoonfuls of cinnamon during my life. People have thrown things at me all my life, and all my life I've head-butted them away or taken the challenge. I'm going to take the challenge now. This is one of the fullest tablespoonfuls of cinnamon I've seen in the various challenges that I've seen recorded. Mine's going to be the best of all, and I bet you I won't even balk, OK?